Je don zo je jo no la shang che pa da da na cha zun Agwe che 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 pe so nang je do la pen cho sang je da ba jo sang je che don zo je jo no shang che pa da da na cha zun Agwe che che pe so nang je do la pen cho sang je da ba jo sang je che don zo je jo no la Shangcha Bada Dhamma Jatsam Chi Ake Chi Che Je Be Sonam Chi Dola Pencho Sanje Drabo Shu. Good morning again. Everyone comfortable to sit? We like to sit on chair? Okay. Okay. Everyone can hear me? Okay. Good morning again. Good evening. Maybe you can close the door. Oh yeah, you can do it. Yeah. Okay. Have you been before here? Yes, been before here. How about you? No. How about you? First time. I am. Okay. You studied Buddhism before? Did. How about you? Oh, good. How about you? Yeah. Oh, good. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. How about you? You can hear, right? You can hear my voice, right? Yeah, my very high level English. You're not English, your mother language, then difficult to understand my English. But my English is perfect one. No, I'm just kidding. One of the one Tibetan master, he speaks very good, the Hindi language. And right now, the people in India who speak Hindi is not really perfect, but they lost a lot of words. And when he speak Hindi, then who speak really Hindi people doesn't understand. But he speak, you study by the book. Then right now, a lot of people doesn't use the lot words. Therefore, my English is like that. Maybe my English is very high level. Very follow the book, then maybe you don't understand. I'm just kidding. Anyway, as we will do a little bit of meditation, and usually the meditation have so many different kind of meditation, walking meditation, concentration meditation, and recitation meditation, a lot of meditations. Meditation means basically do something. You have to do something you special them according to Tibetan Buddhism. Do something you mentally, physically. Right now I can see that walking meditation. There's something is that I give so many different names, but according to Tibetan Buddhism, it's most important to do something to our mind. Therefore, I would like to very simple meditation. Everyone just sit comfortable as much as you can. The visualization from you, or you can visualize some beautiful flower, or you can visualization as Buddha's image. I think maybe you can sit maybe on the chair, like that. Okay. Yeah, whatever comfortable you sit there. Because if we are not sitting comfortable, your mind go to your body position, and you don't focus your meditation. Then today I would like to very simple meditation to visualization in front of you. As Buddhism, we say we visualization of Buddha's image. Buddha is in here, the main person who the founder of the Buddhism. It's good to also not just only statue. It's like similar that the living Buddha in front of you. Or you're not comfortable, or you're not familiar with that, you can visualization anything you like in front of you. Then watch on your own breath. Breathe in slowly, then out slowly. Follow your own breath. When you breathe in, you think or feel, I'm breathing in. You bring out, you also now bring out. Like think that maybe we do like about a couple minutes. If not pay attention, anything is happening outside. If your mind different things coming, different thoughts, not try to stop that. Just focus that. Bring in and out. Okay? Are we going to start? Okay. Now the change at the moment. You can awareness of your own feeling right now. Now, if you have difficult to feel or awareness your feeling, do that your two fingers, thumb and the first finger. We call this like this. Yes. Like this. What you say? Like this. Do like this. Yeah, rub each other, okay? Close your eyes, rub this each other. You can feel something. Okay. I think they stopped this. So we have a lot of evidence going up that. A lot of things are going out. Our mind just go that direction. Doesn't stay with us. This is like very simple to meditation. And the early morning when you can get up in your bed, you just sit. You can do some meditation like that way. This is a very, very simple way. Because we have a lot of things going on our mind and our life. Therefore, our mind is always very destroyed. Then how can we keep our mind at peace? And when you do meditation, you're able to keep your mind with you in a peace way. Or you can also stop things going on our mind. In order to stop that, you don't have to think, okay, now I have to stop that. I have to stop that. You don't have to think that way. Just try to focus on something else. That the automatically the other thought will go away. Okay? Okay, don't you hear it? Good. Okay, this is just my broken English. Not my broken English, my perfect English. No, I'm just kidding. Yeah. Now I can use the translator, then you can hear really good English. Real English. My English mixed with nomad language. I'm from the nomad. My English is also a little bit dialect the nomad. Yeah. Dangam nambe chu said chochine da chu kan chulure nine da ganje semkam gripa. And then seven jawatang tabshi imbarwa.
So the Buddhism is, in one hand, is a religion, but on the other hand, it is a method for transforming one's mind.
제가 안에 남존 담블라다 출lun다 문라페 마보에 제가 출루도 좀 마보에 간제 수수 강사 수수 삼바당 덤바 다 편도 마보 용어요.
And so there are many different kind of religions or teachings in this world, and all these different kind of teachings benefit different kind of sentient beings according to their level of intelligence, dispositions, and manner and so forth.
배차샤는 담블라가도 칼라송에 마치 마보여와 마치 참아 집바 말와 간제 미라 칼라 야보 라야 치다 아니 마치 수수 칼라소다 말와 마보여와.
So just like there are so many different kinds of cooks, right? Varieties of recipes, and different kind of cooks, cooking in different kind of recipes, and that fits, with the interest of the people.
오답배 대로 다나싱한도 총관을 잘한다 만다배나 신동자와에 만나 림다 문에도 가르치는 데는 무슨나 미창마 삼모 땅땅 만다와 칼라고 조냥땅 만다와 근데 딘디 받았다 딘디 뭐 용거로 대나지 출루대 만다와 이제 딘디 살아요.
And also when we go to the grocery stores, we find so many different kind of fruits. Like even in one kind of fruit, there are many different kind of that fruit, like apple. There are so many different kind of apples, right? So it's not necessary that everybody has to eat same kind of apple. So whatever they want, people have different ideas or different interests about different apples, and so they eat whatever they like and whatever is good for them. So I think a religion is also like that. And therefore, we should always respect, all different kinds of religions. And that is very beneficial, because many different kind of religion helps in many different ways to bring peace in the world. It is up to oneself. One has the right to choose what kind of religion one wants to practice. And whether to practice or not is also our rights. And so from the Buddhist perspective, Buddhist point of view, it is good to believe in religion. So on one hand, it is very useful when one is in difficulties. There's something that one can rely on for help. So that's because we all have different kinds of problems, right? Difficulties or problems, irrespective of religion or economic status or different level of position, whatever we are in, we have different kinds of difficulties that we each face. And all these problems that we face mainly comes from the way we think about it. And then from the way we think about the thing and some kind of conditions behind that, and because of that, those things together, we face these problems. And so the way we think, is very common with most of us, right? Is thinking that whatever I think is correct, whatever I remember is correct, like that. And then when somebody else comes against that, saying that, oh, what you're thinking, the way you're thinking is not correct, then we become unhappy. And so we all have this, different kind of thoughts, or different kind of different way of thinking, or different way of talking, and so forth. And so all these problems that we face, and it comes from thinking about things in a wrong way. So what is the right way of thinking? That's what we have to find out. So we find that out by studying, what is good thoughts, what is bad thoughts, what is the right way of thinking, what is not right way of thinking. And so by understanding that and by applying that into practice, then many of the problems that we face will be solved. Okay. So normally, not having a comfortable body and not having a comfortable mind, which one is more dominant? Which one is more stronger, do you think?
shulogin tunje kase zomba yawana shira mide shideo mare.
The sick body or unhappy mind, you know. So even if you have very healthy body and all the facilities are there, but if your mind is not happy, then you will be not happy.
Pechashavayana tandata lakchiri shulogin tunje ta tel laya megaten zomdeona na semlada shidemewana shulog kase tunje shulogin tunje de na shide teto mare.
And so even if you have very luxurious, things, the external things around you, but if you don't have that peace and happiness in your mind, then those luxurious things from outside would not be able to give you happiness.
다나지가 삼론 라므랑 코르데와 삼론 라므랑 코르데와나 텔이 따도와요 거로.
And then especially by thinking about all sorts of things, right? And makes even more, it makes the situation even worse.
너를 가네가지 나도 배도와나 파파세지 파파데 그 대사데 너는 잠아 속마다 그 대사데 잠아셔마다 조여다 그 쪼슈니 그들 허 갈아들어서나 거니 그들.
So like in Tibet, where the pigs live, is like a swamp, mud, right? On the swamp or mud. But not maybe like here, they keep it very clean place. But in Tibet, they always, live in the swamp or mud, and it's not very clean, not very hygienic, but not very clean. But they're very happy there as long as they find the food that they can eat. They're happy living there.
가자 콘돌라야 안에 니쿠야 매사요마다 콘도 니메가 아니 뭐라고 하다 건능 남교도 또또 전에 그 조슈니 그래. 나도 다밑 파파는지 니쿠야 시락갈 가오래.
So living in that dirty place, they can be sleep very well in the daytime. So for us to get a sleep like the pigs is very difficult.
나도 파파는지 니쿠가 파시 딱 니쿠야 매사오래.
And so in order to sleep like the pigs, we might have to take a medicine, sleeping pills for that.
제자가 안에 제다 안에 그 샘나 시대다 간제 안에 샘나야 남동 라무라 몸보매와 이자 그 칼라라시는 데도다 고니들 그거로.
So the pigs, they don't have all these kind of different kind of thoughts in their mind, right? And as long as they can find the food they need to eat, they can have a very good sleep.
제자 간주 샘나 남동 마타니 다 쇼게 매 파라칸사 닝고 파라칸 gonda 파라칸사고도.
And so because we have all these different kinds of thoughts going in our mind, therefore we couldn't fall asleep, right? And then for that, we have to take medicine in the morning, medicine in the afternoon, medicine in the night to help us fall asleep.
제자 네 간주 변나 슐로건 든지 가세 슈쳐봐요. 되게 롱바 되는 게 미참마 맹가 칼려셔고.
And so however much a good facilities, the external facilities we have in that country, people have to take more medicine, to help them to be able to sleep.
가 어디 들리래도 안 돼. 이 조도들 나고 말다 셋당 그 시전에 담는 것도 되는 용도.
So it is like that, right? I'm not saying particularly you, but in general, in this world, it's like that.
제자 아니 딱 그때 가는 아니 샘라 남동 담다 샘라 감라 만다가 아니 지 샘라 도판 담다 용치 아니 들리 용거로 와.
And so that happens because of having all sorts of thoughts in our mind, all kinds of doubts and all kinds of tensions in our mind. And because of that, then we fall into that kind of situations.
다들 간주 샘라 라모시 때셔야 샘라 라모 때셔야.
And then also other thing is that we give too much our freedom to our mind.
Someone's fly on us. 제자 간주 샘라 라모 도도 못 주서 상대 샘라 라모 쇼도 샘거 가리라는 것도 간연 게와.
Do you think that's correct? We give too much freedom to our mind, right? Whatever our mind thinks, we just follow that, right? Whatever mind says, we just follow that. We're giving too much freedom to our mind, right?
제가 샘나 라마 체타 아니 샘기 라마한테 배치하고 마땅하 전에 내 노래만 불러대가.
And we give too much freedom to the mind, and the mind is not using that freedom in a proper way, and therefore we face so many difficulties.
어떤 가서 남는 거도 드네다 딱 나도 샘데 라마처럼 아마트 같이 다보대 자월.
And so this is how it is in the whole world, right? So we have to stop giving all this too much freedom to our mind and control it, as much as we can.
좋아. 대야 샘데 코 다지 쫑간다 다와 드네 담지네 용말 데코 다야스케 용말 다 선로지 딱 단계 가서 검자한테 내 검다때 아니 데링 가서 쇼 검자다 가로 지 basic 노로.
And so it's not like controlling your mind means like putting it in a prison and not letting it do anything, not like that. So training the mind by doing meditation just like we did. So that meditation we just did earlier is very, very basic meditation.
제가 남중가도 샘시라 좀 삼도야 니메카 칼레카 konda니마고 konda니야 먹었다 산이 쇼케다 칼레카 다샘 투주와로.
So like our, we are not able to have a good sleep in the night, or not, very tired in the daytime, but not able to sleep, well in the night. And then of course, next day, if you didn't have good sleep or enough sleep, then you're, again, next day will be also very tiring.
어제 드네 장자 지내다 그디나 칼레 카데와 샘번 투데와 지내까지 간지 메시지 기본 매번 용도 간지 참아려 놓으시.
And then same, and that night again you're not able to sleep well because your mind is thinking too much. There's so much things going in your mind, and then not enough rest, and physically in pain or discomfort and so forth. And because like that, then life goes on just like that continuously.
대 가리 삼당나 다능이 가상님만 모지만 간지 소소 강 요아데 텔레야 가르고 recognize after even I forgot Tibetan for the words. But broken English means my Tibetan become forgot, not my Tibetan become broken. And so can you any karu.
뭐든지.
Think with the Hakowachi, and tell a Gawagom, and it take Pechetana, and it can't mabu chondor.
And so, just like identify, what you have, and be content with that, and just use that, and and most of your the problems of wanting more and more all the time will be solved.
And Tanaji, Sani Karium, Terin Sempti Chamadebachi, Terika, Yoate, any Oshu Yawacha Tawayana, young, Semka Mabucha.
And then not worrying too much about tomorrow, and using what you have today well can also solve a lot of problems.
And another Namju Sem to the Tema Tony Lendo, Kashi, the man John somebody take out a Sempi and a young Sempi to do that they could John somebody with the Chetki Yomarok.
So we have this problem in two different ways. One is by thinking about the past, right? And so whatever happened in the past, and then you worry about that, or you stress about that, and then make your mind unhappy. But whatever happened in the past is already past. You should not think about, worry, or too much stress about that. And then another thing is about the future, concern for the future. So, what will happen, if I don't do that? What will happen if I do that? And so forth. So, it's not here yet, but the problem, is already faced, right now. And then also on top of that, you have the problem, that you are facing right now, right? So you're experiencing all these three problems, problems of the past, problems of the future, problems at the present. And so it becomes, very, and it becomes too much for us to carry all these problems.
Okay. That did my own chile carry, that Kasan Kata carry, that could somebody. That Sani carry on it. She done the summer tango red day. That did it count you at the so to Gawa Gum and then Longshu Chewina, the young Semki, or coming up with Semdo.
And especially like thinking about the past is no use at all. So it's whatever happened in the past is already past. You can't fix it. You can't, make it undo it. So it's already done, and no need to worry about that. And the future, of course, you have to think a little bit. You have to prepare for the future, but not worrying too much about the future also, and recognizing what you have at the present and just using it. Or utilizing it in a best way, and will solve a lot of problems. So this is how we find the peace and happiness of our mind.
What
And so other than that, if you're looking for peace and happiness of mind, then that's how you start, by thinking in that way. Then you find the peace and happiness. Otherwise, it's not like a solid thing that you can just pick it up and then bring, to your home. You can't, bring peace and happiness like that. And so that's how you bring the happiness and the peace of the mind. The peace and happiness of mind has to be created by the mind itself. It can't be brought by external things. So what do you think? Can the external luxurious things, like the money and the fame and so forth, can bring a peace and happiness of the mind, or not? Right? It's very obvious that those things cannot bring peace and happiness of the mind. There are so many people famous with the name and fame and money and so forth, but they don't have the peace and happiness of mind, and therefore many of them commit suicide and so forth, right? So we have seen that obviously. So that is very obvious that those things doesn't bring the mental peace and happiness.
Okay. You can see the chair. Yeah, that's good. Yeah. Oje, that the Yoana Tapana Aritavan, Manga Ben, Boston Tubal, Manga Caseoda. And then make a chin on a Semkishede. Don't do it.
So if there is such like that, then from outside we can achieve mental peace and happiness. Then there are how many hospitals are there? Just like in Boston, that's just in Boston itself. How many hospitals are there? Can they bring peace and happiness to our mind?
Get a cheju MIT Semkishede, and the Tachalachi man with the Raya Coimedoma, Koyere.
And then the one of the most famous universities of technology, is MIT, right? Have you heard of MIT bringing a medicine or something to provide happiness and peace of the mind?
You got? No. 제가 드리지 되네 요한다 문에 근데 lumbadige 탑시에다 탑시 헥타르 체거로 당문을 라사래.
So if there's a way, to find happiness and peace of the mind from outside, then they should be able to find, right? Because they're doing, all kinds of things, trying in all different ways, to bring that.
나 야쇼가래 아니 되네 셈고 sommo 따사기 짠조사기 셈조사기 짜디 가샤고 짜디 가샤나 콜레가 메고 차로라.
And the best they can do, is block that nerve, where the mind travels, right? So if that block the nerve or the channel is blocked, then the mind that travels will not be there, right?
제가 남배시나 아니 셈세세 아니 미긴 토야 미기 아니 야 코로나야 shoes 딱으로 zula tending tendency ngado keleng ro.
And so even in Buddhism, we believe that mind, is something that doesn't have a form, but it, relies, on the physical body.
배차에는 ngado lokchi lokta ro na lok the same ro chi lokta de ta same the rosa sak so ro ne keleng so ro. Ne so ro.
So like relies on the wind and the channels or the nerves of our body, right? Just like the electricity, it depends on the wire, right? If there's no wire, you will not be able to get the electricity. So electricity is formless; you can't see it, but but it depends on the wire. If there's no wire, then you will not get the electricity. It's just like that.
The pit tenida ta tending and mang tone titsat kamagochi. Sem koran go the patch tabuja tawayana. Tango kaduina, Sembalewa, Metishidewa. Also, Michi Shideona, Tiel and Courting Mitsama, Shideo, the river.
So without depending on that medicine which blocks the nerve, if we can change the mind to think in certain ways, in a positive way, then that will bring peace and happiness to our mind. And to do that, for that to happen, and you need to study, you need to practice and meditate a lot. So just by thinking once or twice, we'll not be able to bring transformation to our mind. Professor,
the doctor, you want to when you want to song,
and so just like in order to become a professor or a doctor, you have to spend a lot of money and you have to do a lot of studies. And through that, then you can become doctor or professor.
And that in the Yola and the Jella Pembig Samba, and the Jed Sosola Kari Chimbo Big Samba. Yamna Soso ya Devate Jella Raleigh or Samba. Indeed, some Dr. Naya Pengur.
And that also, if you can think that you're going to do that for the benefit of others, by thinking how others are very kind to us and how it all depends on others for our happiness. So like now, everything that all the prosperities that we have in this life depends on others. So even though it is like that, it comes all from the others, from the kindness of others, but we don't think in that way. We always think, oh, I became like this because of my own hard work. I became like this because of my own, spending money in so much and so forth. So that's how I became like that. We don't think that it is through the kindness of others that we became like that, or we are able to have all these kinds of things that we have in this life. And then so these are the mind, like self-cherishing mind, that brings all these problems to us, right? So if we can minimize that self-cherishing mind and maximize as much as we can the mind that cherishes others, and that will also bring mental peace and happiness.
Okay, but it's not easy. It takes time, complicated, difficult, not switch on off, right? Today, but that Nanzuki, Deva Doyati, she did with the Nanzukati Naya, she did you.
And so from the way we act, where we do the things, we destroy that opportunity, to have mental peace and happiness.
Then the patient of the soil, Karo, Devan Doja Tumu Rank Deva Dartan Jum. Do not turn to say a jump. Do not yell, number jokes, or the nation not sign of sonor.
So just like it is said in one of the chapters in God to the Buddhist Way of Life, that even though we wish to have happiness, but out of ignorance we kill the cause of the happiness is as if it were our enemies. And even though we wish to be free from suffering, we are always running after the cause of the sufferings.
And
So say there is a cause, and if that meets with the condition, then it will ripen into result. That is the reality of the world, right? So that is accepted by all of us, whether we believe in religions or not, right?
Okay, that is the thing. I'm going to shede mayo, just so much karatana shede mayo, just family like no die, just that job. I'm not some of the so much control the rest.
And so what prevents us from having this mental peace and happiness, and what brings in all these problems like war and so forth in the world, is because of anger.
The control said,
So like if you become angry, you will not be happy, right?
are you guys happy? You got mad?
And also, if you're angry, then people around you will be not happy either, right? So like when you're going around with somebody who is very angry all the time, do you feel happy? Yeah. And so think about that, disadvantages of the anger, and try not to get angry. And but we might think that it's fair for us to be angry because he did, he didn't do this well, she didn't do this well, or she did this bad, for me and so forth. So therefore, it's fair for me to get angry. We might think like that, right? Like today, there's a lot of planes flying over us and causing a little bit of disturbance. We're getting angry there, right? And so that happens, right? I mean, we cannot blame them for that. They're flying in different directions on different days. If they fly on the same direction all the time, then people who are on that direction and will be in trouble all the time, right? And and then we might, but we might think that, why they're flying over this direction all the time? It's not that they're flying over this direction all the time, but it just maybe happens to fly on Sunday when we're having class also.
Maybe also Monday and Sunday morning, it's not afternoon. 제가 코코라지는 저대가 나도 두셨다. 대리 삼다나. 맞대 삼다 때 지는 뭐지? 나한테 용 모두 줘 말씀하지. 대삼도 지는 못하더나 다른 못하나 대표한 거야.
And so if you don't think like that they're flying over here all the time, it's just that they're taking different direction on different days, and it happens like that. So it's okay like that. If you think like that, then that will help to not get angry.
나 수소 탑지셔도 간제나 현대 비상 정보 찍을 가디나 저는 또 콘동에 강체가 제가 콘도 쳐다 잠좀 되는 잠좀 샬라 잠좀 나올라 잠좀 폴라 뜻이 로게서 콘도 탑지셔라 남 마음을 안 버려.
So maybe I think they are also trying from their side to not create a problem for one place, right? People living in one place. So if you fly only on that direction, people living in that direction would be in difficulties all the time. And so they're trying to avoid that, giving difficulties to one place only. So they're different. Sometimes they're flying on the east side, sometimes they're flying on the west side, sometimes they're flying on the north, south, like that. And so they have to fly. There's no way, right, to not fly. But even though they have to fly, but they're trying to fly in different directions to, not create a problem for one from the people for one people of that one place only.
어제 두지 봐 섬다나 나도 단다 코 가림 바나다 샘나시라 나도 그리고 공도 사고 말이 셴크로 때 대사도.
And so if we think in that way, then we will not get that much of anger, angry towards them. Otherwise, we get a little bit of angry, right?
어제 다 두지네 다 가르삼고도 나 소소 시대 영화 제다 소소 그 샘다고 이제 소소 공동만 나와 제대 다 빼는 거 첨부래.
And so what is important thing, is to not lose one's peace of mind, and to control one's mind. By doing that, one can be happy and have that mental peace and happiness.
오다 대영어라 간지다 저거고 그래 저거 세시고다.
And in order to do that, in order to not get angry, then you have to practice patience.
어제다 다 디콜라다 나간도 저도 들이 싸워요 무슨 하고 말간도 쉬운죽어야 돼. 아니 내 맞다 야가 개파. 아니 자세 좀 쉬워라서 공고송. 아니 쉬운죽어야 돼. 다 그냥 내가 뭐 보이거든. 다 내가 두 번 만드시죠.
And so in order to be able to do that, practice our patience, meditate on patience, practice patience. We study, we have to study. So those of you who are newcomers might not know, but this is the text known as Guide to the Bodhisattva Way of Life, composed by the great Master Shantideva. And among many chapters, there's a chapter called Patience. So that is what explains mostly about the patience and how to overcome anger and so forth.
한 디기 된다. 도도로 시단데 티쇼로 가르레 콘데시레 잡이거든. 다 도도로 들어와이나. 아니 미가도 코로랑도 왔어. 아도 남자다 코 코로랑서 모 코로랑서 배 코로랑서 나그러와. 그 그게 제원이 제 마송스나도 코로투지랑 그러와.
And so this is explained in many different verses. So each verse explains in different ways. But in short, what it is saying is that like we get angry, because of thinking that she did this, she did that, and so forth. And how do we overcome that anger in different ways by thinking in different ways?
어제 다 단다 하는 것도 들이 쇼로 kapasi 쉽지는 마음으로 되기라. 들어가시.
And today we start from the verse 48. Is that right?
네.
It must be. I thought it was 47, but maybe.
47? Okay. 47, 50% lok쇼다 주다.
So let's read this from 47 to 50. Having been instigated by my own actions, those who cause me harm come into being. If by these actions they should fall into hell, surely isn't it I who am destroying them? And depending upon them, I purify many transgressions by patiently accepting the harms that they cause, but depending upon me, they will fall into hellish pain for a very long time. So since I am causing harm to them and they are benefiting me, why unruly mind do you become angry in such a mistaken manner? If my mind has the noble quality of patience, I shall not go to hell. Although I am protecting myself in this way, how will it be so for them?
Okay. 단디 쇼로가 당부대 갔나. 나랑 그 아니 레지 아니 제 동안을 봐 저기 완전히 제가 컨트롤해 말했어. 된다더니 말이지.
So, it's saying that in verse 47, it's saying that it's because of my own action that I'm experiencing this, so therefore I can't blame on others.
나도 단 참바로 보아나 나도 미션발을 생각하야 하면서 다 수수고문이야 직접적 맞지 같아. 이게 뭐 보지 돼요.
So, like for example, if you get a cold, and you don't blame to others, so there are many different conditions that came together to bring cold to you. Maybe you didn't, take care of yourself. You didn't, avoided. You didn't avoid those, the places where there's a cold and so forth. So, and many different conditions can bring up that cold.
And the dark lady in the Christian, Dalanation the Jonas, and the Susu Nema Mi Shambalaya Pa, never joy, then a Tanda Tination and everything I'll show you is.
And so it says that having been instigated by my own action, so I have created the karma in the past by causing harm to others, right? And then as a result of that harm that I caused to others, now others cause harm to me.
제자 아니 다음에 먹이를 샤발라 때네 센터 소소라 아니 내주시고지 다는 내가 샤발라 때네 가자 바로 받으려야 아니 가로 예소제 되게 just 주래 된대다 아니 콜랑은 이제 컨트롤 사이에 말해서
And then, so he's saying that if by these actions they should fall into hell. So like, I created my own karma to get this harm, right? And then by others, causing harm to me, and they will fall into the hell. So surely isn't it I who am destroying them? So I am the one who was causing harm to them by making them to fall into the hell.
제자들 담담하도록 같이 소수고 계제 시작당 담담 하코진마다 삼마당당 계제 시작당 남주들한테 미션 받고 올라가야 뭐 모용도 와.
So like by the way we talk, by the way we look, by the way we behave, we can cause others to become angry at us, right?
Okay, 다디 된다 그러나 미션 받 저는 코로나가 되나 저는 lembo 요래 해잖아.
So if saying that it's because of those actions that others, are getting angry to you. So it's all right for them to be angry with you.
나도 요 말들 코로까지 살요레스. 그 팔라가 때 말했을 때 저랑라 때 lembo 요다스.
So it's saying that, so we might say, why is he getting angry? But if he's getting angry to you because from the way you talk, from the way you look, the way you behave, and therefore, you're the one to be blamed, for his anger.
제가 소수가 아니 내 제가 너와 저번에 아니 소소라 강사 신가 아니 주인이 와대. 소수가 제전에 강사 신발에 저랑 나와 찍기도 와. 되네다. sempre 코로나 문제 저랑 코로사고 그래서.
So you created a cause, to receive harm from others. And by making others to cause harm to you, you're destroying them. So actually you, should be angry with yourself, not with others.
다디 쇼로가 슈마티가 아니 다 간지탄디나 자오 세대 간지 소소 마가고 메탈라 때네 텔라 조바 고말는 아니 수수가 아니 드밤 뭐 다도 그래서 근데 셴바디 소소라 펜토치 버리스 얘나야 셴바디 나라 코로 사올라 때네 셴바디 드밤네 셴바디 이제 야 드밤 뭐는 내서 해야 돼 제가 there's some time do us.
And then next verse, the verse 48, and is saying that the others by causing harm to you, and by giving an opportunity for you to practice patience, you purify many transgressions, like whatever the vows that you have transgressed, or negative karma that you have created, by transgressing. So those negative karmas will be purified by practicing patience. But depending on me, because you caused, to them for them to be angry, then you are making them to fall into the hell.
제가 나도 조바세지 검색에 예면은 나도 조비 냠나 연구 말해. 조바스로 공부를 솔로 코로나한테 들어한테는 공부야.
And so if there's no object of patience, you can't practice patience. So who are the object of patience? The people who are making you angry, irritating you, or causing harm to you.
제가 코로나 여와라 때는 조사가 근데 나도 듣바 다도 그래. 나중에
And so because they're making you get angry, and you instead of practicing patience, you purify negativities.
이봐나 미 봐줘도 나도 코로 라와는 코로 산에 그야 녀바스네 코당 해서 just 안 거.
But the other person getting angry at you, create a negative karma, and that leads him to fall into the lower realms.
그래서 더물란도 그 나라 펜토다 나 내콜로 내와지니 콜로 콘로시 라이더 파시는 코니 콜로 소금 그래스.
So the person who is, causing harm to you or making you get angry is actually benefiting you, and you think you're doing the right thing, but you're causing harm to the other person.
다디쇼로가 10세기도 다나달라 내와시 내게 콜로 내와시 버레스. 대다 미셴바 수절라 다 마강에 대 펜토 요레스. 이 펜토에 달라 아니 슌줄로 더 아니 가르치는 교수님 단계 요레. 대다 샘 머롱와 쳇 콜라 가르치는 콘로사그리 전화라 펜토 중에다 주 간르치는 콘로사그리요스.
And so then the verse 49 says, so since I am causing harm to them, so I'm like in that way I'm causing harm to them, right? So continue from what it it explained earlier. So in that way, then I'm causing harm to them, right? And they are benefiting me by giving me the opportunity to practice patience, right? And then this is, since that is the way, then why unruly mind do you become angry in such a mistaken manner? So are you become angry at somebody who's benefiting you by giving you, the opportunity to practice patience?
제가 다 저거겁나 아니 콘쪽이 녀바도 마 다도 고매와 장도 변나 녀마샤나 남시 잘못에 마 매와 장도다 뒤서로시.
So if you practice patience, or if you meditate on patience, then the negativities of the anger will be purified. Just like when the sun rises, the cold goes away, like that.
그런 삼성가도 치 리더 샘나 강의 시험을 qabla야 냠렘바도 들어서물 단대응네 소수고 네 녀바사시벤 데버다라 다도 그래서 달라 가와 공부래.
So the real practitioners will think in that way, whenever they face difficulties or experience suffering, they will think, oh, this is so good. It is the opportunity for me to purify the negativities that I have created in the past.
배차지는 강도 어때지? 제자 안에 땡에 저도 시작했어. 내 땡은 봐도 쇼말라 땡네 수수문이 지 니바파 따다요. 네 수수고 냠내 고네 패도 같은데 패기 원다. ela gawa 공부 그래서.
And so taking those adverse conditions, into a path. So that's what that means is by thinking in that way. So whatever difficulties that we face, thinking in a positive, in positive way by taking it in a positive way by thinking, oh, this is a great opportunity for me to purify my negativities. So this is a real practitioner's way of thinking. Of course, it would be difficult for us who are not very familiar with this practice. So, for example, for us, if somebody causes us to be angry, then we get angry towards that person, right? And we're not able to generate compassion towards that person. And so just from the beginning, if you are able to think that, maybe at the beginning, that then later as you go might not be true, but at the beginning, he didn't have any intention. When you just say something, maybe later, and then he keep on saying again and again, then maybe, he has an intention. But at the beginning, he doesn't have an intention, to make you get angry. Yeah? And so if you think like that, then you will not say, oh, he has no intention to make me get angry, but from the way he's talking or saying or doing the things making me angry. So if you are able to think like that, then you'll not get angry towards him. So just like, we, from our side, from the way we talk, from the way we see, from the way we behave, have you ever, caused others to be angry at you? But from our side at that time, when we are talking in such way, or when we behaving in such way, did we have the intention saying that, oh, I want to make that person angry, so therefore I'm going to act in this way, or I'm going to look in this way, I'm going to say in this way? Do we have that intention?
You know what happened? Not first time, right? Maybe second, third time, maybe okay. He doesn't listen. I will not give up, right? But first time we don't have. The tools in the such a theater.
So if we think in that way, then we will find some space, to practice patience.
And he took Pena Sholoka Shibju Shekudita, Ne Jembala Novati Yuanza, and in a quarter Simon, the Usat.
And so then this is what the verse 49 is saying, is that since I'm causing harm to them, I cannot be angry with them.
Then any Sholoka Nobjutambati, Nela Pentona, Dark is Kate, Dala Sambaye, Yende Yona Yamadrosna. And in me Shambala, Susu, to test Kali counter doing, Imba and the counter Kalana, Ne Jela, Pachobalachi, Zobakon, the Nigu Zumbi, Yende the Yovaina, Pachola Zumi Yende Yovaina, Pacho Kondo Sagma, Kocho Kondo Madana, Kocho Yavando, Mares at the Nedo Chikos.
Soso Gombaina, Soso Yadomars.
Oh, the Ochecheda, Cambodi, Kate Sosolaya, Yete, Zovakomchi, Kate Dala, Samba Yesnandi, Samba, Zovala Komachi, the Nigu Zube Yende the Yovaina, and in Mi Pachote, Nesoche, Chichi Mares.
Mi Pacho is Sosoransu.
The Sosochi.
So, like that, it says in the verse 50, if my mind has this noble quality of patience, I shall not go to hell. So if you are able to practice patience, when somebody is trying to cause you to become angry, that instead of becoming angry, if you are able to practice patience, then you will not go to the hell or not fall into the lower realm.
That dish, I sure was Shumani the Kate dog, da sooner. The Dutch Caro. Eda land Chishin Jones and other young. That Susu Zovayapo Gombayana in Bayana, and the Susu Tapoji Zovayapo Gombayana, and the Kaza Pachu Vatala, and the Nason about the Kanizan Jones, I had to pass from Tachi service.
It says then in the second, the next two lines, it says, although I am protecting myself in this way, how will it be so for them? Right? So if you practice patience, and then you protect yourself from becoming angry and from falling into the lower realm. But by doing that, how will you be able to practice? How will that be protecting to others from falling into the lower realm? And anyway, by practicing patience in that way, by oneself, one creates the merit, of practicing patience.
Me Pacho, Suzu, Zava Makomachi, any Karo, Koro Savaina, and the Gevele Masavaina, and the Telakarochi, Dumamajo Yomari, Mujo Yomaris, Teta, Land Chishin Jones, Telako Devan Jumaris, and
And so if others do not practice patience, and become angry, and then they have not created a cause to be happy, then they will not be happy.
That counter than the Tanakana Kaji, Suzu Jalaya, Mi Pacho Balaya, and the Zovakum Zumi into Yovaina, and so long as Maris.
And so anyway, in short, what he's saying is that if we practice patience, and if we have this, a noble quality of patience in our mind, then by doing that, we will not fall into the lower realms.
And then Suzu Dapoja, Sudapoya was Sovayana, and then Gevaya Posagres.
So if one controls oneself well, then one will be, creating positive actions well.
What the counter than the Mashidan, Zova Gomtan Janji, they go over and then they go over the Taco Tider and the Shatan Damara Mumbo counter. Where they done on the Zovacom, Zovacom Gores, Zovacom Shadi.
So in this way, it explains in different ways, by using different examples, by using different words. But the main point, is to practice patience.
Okay? And the thing is, over Goma Tayanchi, Hako, and the Tagako, 4th mind, but she never Hako, and over Gona Gomtori.
And then practicing patience, has to happen by seeing the reason, by seeing the reason, by being familiar with it, then you'll be able to practice patience. But otherwise, there's no way to practice patience by somebody forcing at you.
Okay. Okay. Any questions? You okay? Any doubts? Any questions you guys have? Looks you guys no questions. Any questions? Even other questions here? You don't have to exactly know what today we talk about. You have any questions for different ways to about Buddhism?
Andrew has a question, I think, on
Right here. Hello.
I was wondering, so should we never, so does a bodhisattva or like one of the wrathful, so what's the difference? I hear there's like wrathful gods in Tibetan Buddhism, but it's not like a wrath of or anger of like wanting to harm the practitioners. Is it more of an anger of them wanting to, out of compassion? Like something I get confused about is like the notion of justice in Tibetan Buddhism, where I'm wondering, should you always is all anger considered a harmful emotion, or is there ever like compassionate anger, like that you don't want to harm the evildoers, but you also are angry at their actions?
그래서
그런저 다당가서 다보기 여라도 성마 다보기 다 나바땡을 하듯이 담듯이라 안데 저기 컨트롤 사야 되다 당가 저기 되는 답변에 균에 컨트롤 사줘 말에 가든에 시대 검거를 쓰고라스 안에 스템 쉬어 검거를 쓰고 안데 저기 되는 데 다보대한테 가래가 다보된 거를 가래라 컨트롤된 거래 데 거 가든데 고쳐로 지금
고정권의 샘거 컨트롤 사요 말에.
So the wrathful deities, that you see in the wrathful aspect, they are not really angry from their mind.
싫어고 남줄라 아니 아야 샘체 가시 잡고 나보면 나야 똘 마트면서 제대 아니 샘 남줄만 나로로 니지가 끝나고 그래.
And so in their mind, there's no anger, but from the external expression, they bring up that anger expression or wrathful expression. That's because there are certain sentient beings who cannot be tamed without a wrathful manner. So in order to tame those kind of sentient beings, then they take up that wrathful manner or wrathful expression.
우가시 밤에 그 동바가 남주 맡은다 가만히 있더라고. 어디서라고 밤에 남주 때한테 코로 사회 남주 때만에 보고도 가니 봤더니 어디서라고.
So just like some children, they don't listen unless the parents, show them wrathful face. So that when they show the anger or like, a serious face, then the children will listen. It's like that. The deities of Buddhas coming in that aspect, to benefit or tame certain kind of sentient beings.
제가 슐로고 남주 되기 미파초고야 샘맛 또토를 뭐시.
So the external expression can also, tame others, in many different ways.
미도에다 최다 심해서 전다가 됐어 콘트라세가 남았던데 줄저도.
So like not only human beings, even the pets like cats and dogs, when the owner shows the kind of a angry expression, then they behave or they run away, right?
Okay. Yes.
what if someone gets angry at you because they see an argument as a valid way of communicating? Perhaps you see that the argument will actually be anger and not be good, and being patient is actually better.
가서
여보 고민도 당해도.
he didn't hear you. What did he say? What is the question?
Yeah, correct me if I'm wrong. Can you hear me okay, Dancho?
Yes, yes.
So the question was, what if someone gets angry at you for being patient? Suppose they want to, they're angry and they want to argue about something as a way to kind of address that situation.
Yeah.
But you feel that if you engage in that, it's just going to create anger. Is that more?
Yes.
어디 다스는 다 미신다 지금 서로 건데나. 아니 미카시안 코님도 때 잡되어라. 아, 거 개고지 말아줘 나가서 하하해서 기무주고 쉬어 되네 개고지 말아 대반에 코틸라 코로 사는 거라서. 내가 코나 내가 가르쳐 버렸어 내가.
합해오지 소소 공로 마사오지 발레 자그부터 자오르스. 갑자기 자그 자 소소 공로 마사오지.
So yeah, in that case, if you need to answer or respond in some way, then you should respond, but without getting angry, from your mind.
가르다나 소소 공로는 소소 시대라는 공로 마사레게로와.
And so, because if you become angry, then you lose your, mental peace and happiness. Therefore, you should not get angry.
공로 마사와체니 아니 콜라야 소소 갑자기나 개셰고 그 셰고냐 차다 파주베 가르라드는 예스야틀라드는 야 미카시가 예냐 주셔그로와.
So yeah, without getting angry, you should respond to them, or say back, to them whatever you need to say, but without getting angry. And instead, if you just keep quiet and just say practice patience, you say, "Oh, I'm practicing patience, therefore I should not respond," and just say yes, 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 and then they might get angry also,
오케이. 아니 지전에 아니 미카시 삼로 파주야 마당도야 신여 주셔그로와. 미도도 개 같이 가르치지는 되네.
And then sometime they might even like look down on you, and look down on you and then say, oh, this person doesn't respond, so I can do whatever I want to do to him. He will not get angry, he will not respond, and then he may look down on you and torture you, like that.
저는 소베가 고샤대 권에는 좋아자고.
And so you have to fight back, respond, to that person, or fight back by wearing the armor of patience.
오케이. 제가 잡장 한번 나도 나비 조바 공부하고는 파조 가리면 가지는 저 고그 드리케샤 말이.
So when we are saying practicing, you should practice patience, doesn't mean that whatever other person say, you just bend your head down and just listen to them and let them do whatever they want to do to you. Not like that.
남지 조금만 고소란다. 나도 그거 대대네 딱좀 미칸가 조금만 쟁으러 왔어. 그만큼에는 그만큼에다 코로마다 반드시 자식으로 와.
So like if somebody says, "Oh, you stole," and then if you just bow your head down and just listen and says and just sit there like that, then they might think that, oh, you really stole, because you didn't steal, so you have to like stand up and then say, no, I did not steal, but without any anger.
Okay. Yes. Yeah, maybe. Yeah, go ahead.
My question is, I'm struggling to understand whether or not anger is inherently bad. That sometimes when we feel anger or when we practice patience, it may be a way to run away from feeling that anger. That that it would be an excuse to not feel and numb ourselves so that we don't experience that pain and suffering. So how do we experience and express that emotion and have that and then practice patience to be able to not run away and not escape and not grasp at, so using patience as an excuse to not feel something.
알아서.
콘도디 란싱기 그 독자를 베스 거다. 란싱기 독자를 베스. 아니 가서 콘도 마타야 된다라. 다치 다 콘도 랑사기 미드네 파트 침바다 데레 제바 데레 제야디 디어를 베스. 다 콘도 마사기 된다라. 다 excuse this 거다. and 콘도 마사기 된다라. 데네 다치 파트 도 데레 제바 데레 제네 디어를 베스 거다. 라다 담보다 랑싱기 독자를 베스 거다.
다 콘도다 랑싱기 독자레스. 자자 두자레스.
랑싱 두바 독자를 베스.
콘도 다 라지 들어봐다 간지 콘도 가다 라지 오늘 가지 다 대마도게 막까지 두셔야 돼 간지 콘도로 야죠 말에.
Yeah, so of course, anger is inherently bad. You can say that, there cannot be any good, from getting angry.
간나 콘도 아니 레벨 야보 메와다 디코로 두와인 바이. 두와르 차네 콘도
So because the result of the anger is bad, the result would be anger will be bad. So therefore, therefore the cause anger itself is also bad.
아니 대치 다 니바데 간지 콘도라 요야게 탑시 요나 요거다 간지네.
And of course, it's not bad to run away from getting angry. If there's any way you can find to not get angry, then that way is good.
간나 콘도서 나가도 지워면다 나도 지워면 미샤바 지워면다 아니 에가로 가세 톱톱이 지워랬어.
Because when you get angry, then you'll not be happy, and people around you will be not happy either. So therefore, whatever you can do to avoid, the anger would be good, either by running away or by tackling it in different way, in a rightful manner.
Okay. Okay, Jennifer.
I'm sorry, I didn't catch your name.
Mike.
Mike's question made me think of this because the anger's in the mind, so you could still be in the situation Mike described, but if you have this sort of what they call passive aggressive, just because you're just sitting there quietly doesn't mean that you're practicing patience, right?
Exactly. Yeah. 대 가래 실로그 남주 마테와나 코 나라 콘도서 바테나 코 셈바 tuk샤라 대 말이야.
Yeah, so even if you don't express the anger externally, but if you keep it internally, then blazing in your mind, then of course that's not practicing patience.
제자네 조조 실로그 남주 나기 수수의 콘도 마사가 됐다 저번 오늘 대한 학교에 돈으로.
And so the main thing is to practice that in the mind, not have anger in the mind. Even if you express, show the expression of anger from outside, that's not important. The most important thing, main thing is to not have anger in your mind.
And 나도 소파 가나 시대가 아니네 지오 파트너 지오도 소볼 타섬노 콘도사다네 진 지오치네 요 말에.
So even if you are lying down on a very comfortable sofa, but if your mind is angry all the time, then even if you're lying down on a comfortable sofa, you will not be happy.
Okay, 잠정하더라도 뒤에다 집에 산줄로 식다 지마로 소소 삼을 그 고로사 되기도 아무 지워지네야 가로 좋아지네 자 뒤에다 지우 되게로 아니 그게 산지 계단으로 계셨다 하는 것도 semtu로도.
And so it's like we sit on a very comfortable sofa and then turn on the TV, to be comfortable, to be happy, right? But then when we see something bad in the news, then we become angry, and then we're not happy even if we're sitting on a very comfortable sofa.
저는 남중가 미강가라요. 가지 소소라 네버드 셰거 같은 마요 와이나 소소도 따와만 담바. 근데 소소 지 semtu로 지 산주엔 바나 때문에 마다라 있어. 하나데 인심이 고야 되는 말과.
And so, like I usually advise my students to not watch those kind of news and televisions that disturbs your mind. If it's something that you must watch, then of course you have to watch. But otherwise, if those kind of things that brings unhappiness in your mind, like it disturbs your peace of mind, then you should not watch it.
근데 나라도 소소티 소소 솔라이 딱 기보면와 지금 차대 말이 그게 아주 개개 제도가 뭐 와.
There's nothing you can do, just becoming unhappy yourself, becoming angry and unhappy yourself, but you can't make any changes to the situation there by watching on the TV, right?
And 봐주는 것도 고르라고 쏘쏘요 말이.
The other people on the TV, they don't even know that you are getting angry.
근데 나도 배워를 저는 배회가 아마씩 배 쉬고 배쇼라 로섬 고로사 그랬어. 배쇼가 하고 뭐 고로사요.
And there's a saying, there was like example, there was one old Tibetan lady, who was angry with the Tibetan government for 3 years. And the Tibetan government didn't even know that she was angry with them.
제가 가도 그게 지금 산재다 남주지대 남도 때 코로나 용어도 가지가지 코로나인데 제가 내 돈 맞았어. 어떨 게 두서와.
And so like that, just like that, we watch the TV and we get angry, but the other people, they don't even know that we're angry with them, And anyway, it's just watching those kind of TV or news, can create unhappiness, disturbance in our mind. So I will usually advise not to watch those kind of TV.
제가 가도 변다 수보를 내가 갈라지나 이직고 사고면은 샤샤는 되게 어려워. 사이 샴바들이나.
Just like if we can avoid the food that cause harm to us, then it would be good to avoid that, right? But if there's no other food to eat, only that, then of course, you might have to end up eating that. But if there's other choice, other food to eat, then you can avoid that easily.
Okay. Yes.
Also wondering if, sometimes if we have a problem and whenever we think about this problem, we feel angry. But if we try to avoid the problem doesn't go away. So we're not able to control our mind yet from becoming angry when we think about the problem. So how do we deal with that? Should we just, just do the problem anyways, even try to do the best we can?
가서
Tanga dulu nyoba chewa ina, ta nyoba di mayo tabse chema tobe na, nena nganda mayo tabse chema tobe na, ta nyoba dila nganda kono langira, ta nendila 가르쳐 그랬어.
다 간제 담다 칠해야다 소소대 마요 매와서는 소소를 내봐요 말다데 소소고 개왕함에 사셔비 레니인데와 이해선 단 대단대다고 안다 소소를 좀 마사와 다다고 심지술아 마요 삼들이 삼다다 로종 삼다 들이서와.
So yeah, of course, there's a way to think from the Dharma perspective, right? So from the mind training perspective or Dharma perspective, if that problem, you cannot avoid that or you cannot solve that, then becoming angry towards that problem will not help, right? And then instead of becoming angry towards that problem, if you can think like, oh, this problem is the result of the negative karma that I have created in the past. And so I should not create any negative karma, so I will not have this kind of problem. And just like I don't want to have this problem for myself, may others be, free from this kind of problem also. If you think like that, then it will be helpful, to face that kind of problem. And that facing problem can help you to think in a positive way. And actually, the verse 47 answers that question. So from the Dharma point of view, if you can think in that way, then of course it will be very good that way. If you are able to think in that way.
But difficult for us. Okay, I think we stop that. And thank you, everyone.
Laura,
sorry, I didn't saw you.
Oh, that's okay. I think my question was answered. Thank you.
Okay, thank you. That's good. Okay, thank you, everyone. Wonderful. I hope you get some small benefit, some more idea, but not get the idea one day. You have to study more, thinking more, reading more, meditation, then we will get some answers. Okay?
Page 39, Thanksgiving model offering. Aji perfusion de totra me rapin de tekin ganti sanjin de te boati gokun lambda shin lecture hashu exon amekute rapin shin nabha pinne chokshi pada osan temperature mesasu ni roe mesota de yoji idam guru ramanda gandhi. My two collections, vast the space that I have amassed from working with effort at this practice for a great length of time. May I become the chief leading Buddha for all those whose minds wisdom lies blinded by ignorance. Even if I do not reach this state, may I be held in your loving compassion for all my lives, Manjushri. May I find the best of complete graded paths of the teachings, and may I please all the Buddhists by practicing. Using skillful means drawn by the strong force of compassion, may I clear the darkness from the minds of all beings with the points of the path as I have discerned them. May I uphold the Buddha's teachings for a very long time. With my heart going out with great compassion in whatever direction the most precious teachings have not yet spread or once spread have declined, may I reveal this treasure of happiness and aid. May the minds of those who wish for liberation be granted bounteous peace, and the Buddha's deeds be nourished for a long time. By even this graded course to completed due to the wondrous virtuous conduct of the Buddhas and their children. May all human and non-human beings who eliminate adversity and make things conducive for practicing the excellent paths never be parted in any of their lives from the purest path praised by the Buddhas. Whenever someone makes an effort to act in accordance with the tenfold Mahayana virtuous practices, may they always be assisted by the mighty ones, and may oceans of prosperity spread everywhere. In that snow mountain encircled land, source of every benefiting joy, may Lord Tenzin Gyatso Chenrezin remain in life till samsara's end. Savior of the snowland teachings and transmigratory beings who extensively clarifies the path to unify his emptiness and compassion. The lotus in the hand, Lord Tenzin Gyatso, I beseech, may all your holy wishes be fulfilled. Page 49, the short long life prayer for Lama Zopa Rinpoche. You who uphold the subduer's moral way, who serve as the bountiful bearer of all, sustaining, preserving, and spreading Manjunath's victorious doctrine, who masterfully accomplishes magnificent prayers honoring the three jewels, Savior of myself and others, your disciples, please live long. Pray to always meet with perfect teachers. Your form embodies all Buddhas, your nature is that of Ajahn. You are the root of the three jewels. Homage to you, O Gurus. In short, I seek your blessings, O Protector, to be cared for by you from birth unremittingly throughout our lives, and thus to become your chief disciple, holding every secret of your body, speech, and mind. O Protector, please grant that all be auspicious for me to be foremost among your very first circle of disciples wherever you manifest Buddhahood, so that all my temporal and ultimate wishes without exception may be effortlessly and spontaneously fulfilled. In all my lives, never separated from perfect gurus, may I enjoy the magnificent Dharma. By completing the qualities of the stages and paths, may I quickly attain the state of Ajahn. Furthermore, in life after life, may I, pleasing him in return, be forever fostered by an accomplished Mahayana spiritual master, the source of every virtue of this world and beyond. In his care, may I acquire in him a firm, unshakable faith, pleasing him by every means possible, doing nothing even for an instant to disappoint. May my spiritual master impart to me every instruction and every teaching in its entirety. Having understood them faultlessly, may I practice them and be able to bring them to perfection. May I never even for a moment fall under the sway of malevolent teachers and misleading friends. Having developed in every life belief in cause and effect, renunciation, the Bodhi mind, and clear view, may I embark upon them continually with effortless experience. In every life, may every virtuous act gathered by way of body, speech, and mind be causes solely for the welfare of others and for the purest and highest enlightenment. Page 57, prayer of dedication. Through this virtue may I swiftly, having gained Guru Buddha state, place each and every sentient being without exception in that state. Precious supreme Bodhi mind, may it where unborn arise, and where born in birth decline, but increase forevermore. 75, the same box. Remake and they want John Thank you, Geshe.
Okay, thank you, everyone. Thank you, everyone. Have a good night.
Thank you,
Thank
Geshe.
you,
Thank you,
Geshe.
Geshe.
Thank you both.
Thank you,
Thank
Bob.
you.
Damcho.
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 And thank you, Bob.
Bye-bye.
Can
Thank
I
you.
have a question?
No, we're finished now.
Okay.
Bring a caution next time, okay?
Okay.
Okay, okay.